Nagahila River. It is LFL football in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Welcome inside the booth of LFL Football Night. As always, Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco. And we are here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bobby, the last time we were here was a little colder, 25 degrees, gusting winds, near frigid temperatures. A little different at kickoff. We're expecting about 75 degrees and sunshine. A little nicer, a little toastier here in the booth. And Omaha versus Pittsburgh, a great Eastern Conference matchup. But you got to figure these two teams are really at the crossroads of their 2017 season.
No, you're right. In fact, they both have a shot at the playoffs, though, especially Omaha. They're 1-1 right now. And with that Chicago-Atlanta game, Atlanta lost and fell to 1-1. So Omaha's in the thick of things. As for Pittsburgh, they're 0-2 to have any shot, and they have a slim shot. They have to win tonight.
Now let's talk about the Omaha Heart. It seems like every time Omaha plays, we talk about one player, namely their quarterback, Alex Drake, who they received through free agency, has really failed to live up to her potential this season.
No, you're right. In fact, she was probably the most hyped quarterback coming into the LFL, maybe with the exception of Angela Rippin, but she has not lived up to the hype. She has all the skills, but we haven't seen it so far this year. And to compound things, at running back, Nikki Bernhardt, she's been out all season. They have Shalyn Durham, a strong, solid running back. She's powerful, but she lacks the athleticism as Nikki Bernhardt.
Now let's talk about Pittsburgh here. There are 0-2, a disappointing season by any stretch of the imagination, but you've got three bright spots on this roster, namely wide receiver Jolie Ezekai, defensive end Tracy Wilmer, and cornerback Remy Olenczak.
No, you're right. They're the three cornerstones for Pittsburgh. But for tonight, look for quarterback Morgan Spencer. She has to play a big game. Her mechanics have to be tight. She's playing a little stronger than she did earlier in the season. But at running back, Sonia Osborne is out. We just found that out. She's out with an ankle injury. And in her place, we have Astrid Cruz, smaller, quicker. But we'll see how she plays tonight.
We did get that word late here that in the first half during warm-ups, LFL Medical did not clear Sonia Osselborn, so indeed it will be the New Jersey native Astrid Cruz taking over at the starting running back position. That will do it for us here for the pregame show. It's do or die time in the Eastern Conference. Will Omaha keep its playoff hopes alive? Or will Pittsburgh capture the franchise's first ever win? Kickoff is next. Back to LFL Football Night, a scenic setting here at Highmark Stadium. It's the Pittsburgh Rebellion versus the Omaha Heart. Quite the matchup here, Bobby.
Quite a matchup. Perfect night for football on the Monongahela River. This is Pennsylvania football.
That is Shalyn Durham with a short kick. Waylon Pitts, a great return getting to the edge. And Pittsburgh setting up at midfield to start this one.
Waylon Pitts with that blazing speed. She is a raw talent. She came inside, burst outside, almost went coast to coast.
Morgan Spencer and this Pittsburgh offense, who have shown signs of life this season, will get their first opportunity here. As I said, they will start from the 25-yard line. That is midfield in the LFL. And what about Morgan Spencer? Up and down season. You could see her numbers, nothing to write home about, but has some potential at the position.
She is a solid game manager at the quarterback position. You're right, her stats you're not going to write home about, but she is a solid quarterback.
And that is Astrid Cruz, the spell-in running back that gets the start ahead of Sonia Osselborn as we meet the Pittsburgh lineup.
Jolie Ezekai, wide receiver.
Waylon Pitts, your wide receiver. Jacqueline Trejo, tight end.
Ginger Kuchba,
Tight end.
Tracy Wilmer, center.
Sonia Osborne, running back.
Morgan Spencer, your quarterback.
Watch out for number 15, Jolie Ezekai. She is the most dangerous player on this Pittsburgh team. She can score at any time.
A high snap sailing over the head of Spencer and deflected up in the air. That'll be intercepted. A great open field interception by Shalyn Durham.
Jacqueline Trejo, horrible snap over the head of the quarterback. Morgan Spencer trying to make something happen. She should have probably just thrown the football away. What an early break for Omaha.
The Spencer interception now gives Omaha the ball back at midfield. We sat down with Alex Drake.
As a quarterback, I'd grade myself as a B. I have a lot to learn. I've made mistakes, but I'm pretty humble. I'm still growing this year. It's been extremely frustrating, but I love the position, so I'm willing to do what it takes to get to the top. It's just going to take me some time.
We say it every game. She has the skills. She has to be a smarter quarterback, stay in the pocket, and deliver the football.
And that is Shalyn Durham breaking off 9 yards. We talked about it in the pregame show. Durham is spelling Nikki Bernhardt, who was penciled in as the starter, looking pretty athletic there.
She's a great downhill runner between the tackles, doing exactly that. 9 yards, first play of the game. A strong runner. Look forward to her play that kind of football all night.
A 2nd and 1 after the Durham run. So this offense is set up well early in the first quarter. That is Lindsey Howell in motion. Inside handoff. Raina Hullaber, the second running back, will pick up the Omaha first down as we meet the starters for this offense.
Raina Hullaber, running back.
Jamie Lundberg, wide receiver.
Danielle Snyder, tight end.
Sarah Jane Thompson, your tight end.
Sarah Robinson, your center. Nikki Bernhardt, running back.
Alex Drake, your quarterback.
This game is on the shoulders of quarterback Alex Drake. She has to perform tonight.
Drake back to pass. Looking into the end zone and well outside of the end zone. That was intended for Lindsey Howell, the backup quarterback. Also their go-to receiver down the field.
She was open right there. Alex Drake, we talked about her mechanics. Right there, her last game, 1 out of 8. That's not going to cut it. The first pass of the game, Lindsey Howell was open for a touchdown. Drake waited too long and threw it out of the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10 for the second-year quarterback. Ball at about the 15-yard line of Pittsburgh. This is a design keeper by Drake, taking a big hit. Drake did manage 4 yards on that carry, but paying the price as we meet Pittsburgh starters.
Jessica Johnson, corner.
Rami Olenzak, corner. Kenya McKeown, strong safety.
Jolie Fezakai, free safety.
Tanya Osborne, middle linebacker. Gina Campese, defensive end. Jacqueline Trejo, defensive end.
Keep your eye on cornerback Jessica Johnson right now at the cornerback position. She is leading the league in tackles. Unbelievable.
Meanwhile, Lindsey Howell really being targeted on this offense. Johnson did get the tackle, but not before Omaha picks up another 5 yards.
With Nikki Bernhardt out of the lineup, Lindsey Howell might be the top athlete on the squad right now. She's getting early action right now. She's going to get a lot of action, I think, with Bernhardt out.
Setting up a vital 4th and 1. That is a look at Shalyn Durham, the power back. In all likelihood, the rock is going to go to number 12 here. Drake under center, does hand off to Durham. And Durham just stretching out beyond the sticks. That should be another Omaha first down.
She is tough to tackle one-on-one. She breaks an early tackle right there, gets the first down, but that's where she is tough. Between the tackles, she's tough to stop.
A 1st and goal for this Omaha offense. An offense that's done relatively well in consideration of last year. They have racked up some points. This is Drake territory, though. A 1st and goal from the shotgun. Looking to the end zone. A lot of time. And Drake taking off with it. There is the physical side of her game. And you could see slow to get up, now back down. This is what you talked about in the pregame show.
Well, she got knocked out of the Los Angeles game, if you remember, with a concussion. Right here, she turns it up. Kind of a smart move because there was an opening, but she can't do that. She's coming off of concussion, and she right there, as you can see, she still has some of the effects.
That's Jessica Johnson, the leading tackler in the league, also down. As we take a media timeout, Pittsburgh turning it over early. Macy and Sura coming up with the interception. Back to LFL football night. A look at Alex Drake, who is up. Showed signs of being down. Jessica Johnson also colliding with her at the goal line. Good sign to see both of them up, and they look healthy.
Especially Alex Drake. Coming off that concussion, she shouldn't be running the football like that. She's a great athlete. She wants to run, but that's the coach has got to stop her from doing that.
A 2nd and goal bunch set. That is Drake just pushing her way into the end zone. That was an obvious design call. I don't know if you go there when your quarterback is just now feared to have had a concussion.
She followed the block of Lindsey Burse. A great block, great push off the offensive line, but you're 100% correct. With that concussion, and they have Shaylin Durham in the backfield, a power back. Don't let your quarterback run the football.
She was a little banged up. They're saying it was more of a shoulder injury. So perhaps that's the reason they took a shot there with a yard out in a quarterback that's 5'9", 160 pounds. Another reverse handoff to Lindsey Howe, that time not getting there. That was Tracy Wilmer. And the free agent signing, Kim Jack, they called her Blanca, former Baltimore Shark.
I love to see that. They went out and signed one of the top defensive players from the LFL, from the Baltimore Charm, and she came in and she is playing like she did in Baltimore, one of the top DEs in the LFL.
Let's meet the defensive starters for Omaha.
Macy and Sarah, corner.
Raina Holabar, corner.
Sarah Jane Thompson, strong safety.
Shalyn Durham, free safety.
Jacqueline Good, linebacker. Danielle Snyder, defensive end.
Lindsey Burse, defensive end.
For Omaha to have any success tonight, they have to apply pressure by DEs Sarah Robinson and Kelsey Lane.
Astrid Cruz. That could have been a late hit by Raina Holabar, but Cruz coming out big early in this one. That was a 5-yard carry. As we talked about, Cruz is spelling the starter, Sonia Osselborn, who is out.
When I spoke to Coach Joe DeBerry, he really liked the talent and the upside on Cruz. You got to hand it to her, not knowing she was going to start tonight. With Osselborn out, she's really putting on a show so far.
Standing only at 5'1", but very elusive and more athletic than Osselborn is Cruz. They're going to go back to Cruz. That is Raina Holaburn all over it. That'll only be a gain of a yard. And in fact, we're going back to Coach Joe DeBerry of Pittsburgh. We talked to him about where is this team right now.
Being a first-year head coach, it's definitely been more difficult to get things rolling here. Some of the girls came into camp a little out of shape. We've been working on that. We're definitely on an upwards trajectory. We're looking forward to the future. Keep growing as a team, keep getting better every week.
He is getting it done. Some of these players came in like Osselborn and Campisi out of shape. He's got them playing good football right now.
A 3rd and 5 completion. The ball did come loose, but that was after Wilmer was down on the ground. A 3-yard completion.
This is how Spencer's developing as a quarterback. Taking serious pressure. She just dumps it off, finds a receiver. Tracy Wilmer gets yards. Not the first down, but smart play by Morgan Spencer.
Spencer looking good after that interception early. She's an erratic passer. That is one of the big knocks on her. She lacks consistency, and this Omaha defense will get after her.
Absolutely, but right there, that move, she would usually take a sack or get picked off. Right there, she went to the 3rd receiver in the food chain and just dumped it off, got yardage instead of a sack.
A 4th and 2 for this Pittsburgh offense. And that looked like Omaha jumped clearly. We do have a penalty. That could be a big penalty on this defense as this offense was facing a 4th and 2.
Smart move again by Spencer, using the cadence as a weapon and drew Omaha off.
Michael Jarasinski, our head referee, discussing it with his crew. Early indication is that this will go against Omaha.
Offsides, defense number 6. 5-yard penalty, results in a 1st down.
That penalty on Chelsea Hoffman, the rookie defensive end, and that'll give Pittsburgh a 1st down.
That's what I love about the development of Morgan Spencer. She doesn't have the skill level of an Ashley Salerno in Los Angeles, but right there, using the cadence as a weapon, she is developing into a very capable quarterback.
Now a 1st and 10 play for this offense. Spencer back to pass, big pressure by Sarah Robinson, and that ball looked like it came out. Omaha did recover the fumble, but are they calling it a fumble or an incomplete pass?
It looked like an incomplete pass. They might be giving it to him, though. I think she was trying to get the ball to Jessica Johnson. She was too late. She got serious pressure. Johnson was open. She should have thrown it right there. I think she was trying to throw it.
And give credit to Sarah Robinson not falling for the pump fake and staying on the ground with Spencer. That ball looked like it came out, almost kind of a tuck rule. But it seems like they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Omaha is challenging.
Has challenged the ruling on the field of a fumble. The previous play is under review.
I think that's a solid challenge. It looked like she was tucking the ball and not necessarily throwing it.
She saw Jessica Johnson there. Now, was the ball coming up as a fumble, or was her arm going forward? Right there, it looks like she was trying to go forward with it.
Tomato. For me, it appeared like she was going to tuck it. You could see right there she changed her mind as she saw Sarah Robinson coming up. And I think she really tucked this ball. That should be a fumble. Ball Omaha.
Now that I saw the second replay, I think you're 100% correct. That looked like Tom Brady.
After review, it was determined that the quarterback lost possession of the football, recovered by Omaha. 1st and 10, Omaha from the 19-yard line.
A big-time challenge by offensive coordinator and head coach Dante Allen, paying off for Omaha.
It sure was. I thought it was a pass at first, but on the replay, you can clearly see she's bringing it down to tuck it.
So Drake getting yet another opportunity on the Pittsburgh side of the ball. You can't wish for better field position than this.
This is where Drake has to come through. We talk about her talent level, how good she can be, but right now she has to produce.
A 1st and 10, ball at the Pittsburgh 19-yard line. Drake back to pass again into the end zone. Well short of the receiver, and that is intercepted by Jolie Efezekai.
It looked like a replay of Drake's first pass. Way late on the timing, she threw it, and it's not even close to where it should have been. It floated up on the inside, and Efezekai came out with a great play. That's all on quarterback Alex Drake. But Efezekai, she knows the tendencies of Drake. They played together in New England.
That is an excellent point. Standing at 6'1", the tallest free safety in the LFL, an absolute ball hawk back there. A 1st and 10, ball at the 6-yard line. Pittsburgh did get it back after that interception or fumble. That is Spencer down the field, overshooting Efezekai and throwing into that sunshine.
Great technique by the cornerbacks of Omaha. They jammed Efezekai off the line. She couldn't get deep down there for that post pattern. And what happened? Spencer way overthrew it. It was a great corner play.
If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm loving the matchup of Shalyn Durham on Jolie Efezekai. That is an outmatch any day of the week.
It should be fun to watch. They're both good athletes. Efezekai, I'd throw it to her all the time. She's a beast at wide receiver.
A 2nd and 10. That looked like Kim Jack may have jumped. This should be a false start on Pittsburgh.
You can expect that. Jack is new to the Pittsburgh lineup. She's new to hearing the signal calling by Morgan Spencer, and she totally jumped right there.
We will see if head referee Michael Jarasinski and his crew agree.
False start, number 17, offense. Half a distance to the goal, replay 2nd down.
That is the call, backing up the Pittsburgh offense, who is already at the 6-yard line. They'll be down to about the 3 now. You can see Spencer and Astrid Cruz talking it over. And Omaha right now stacking 6 defenders in the box. Spencer rolling left, throwing down the field off her back foot. And that is complete to the tight end, Kim Jack, making up for that false start earlier.
We mentioned how Spencer becoming more cerebral as a quarterback. She saw the blitz. She saw, as you mentioned, all 6 players, 6 of the 7 at the line of scrimmage, and she knew you could go deep. It wasn't a great throw, but it was effective.
Who knew Kim Jack could get down the field like that, showing some speed and then coming back to the ball?
Coming back, making a great grab, and again, a great play by Spencer. Not a great pass, but they moved the ball down the field.
A 1st and 10, Spencer back to pass, finding a lane and now taking off with it. An ill-advised jump. That was Sarah Robinson and Jacqueline Good on the stop. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. It's the visiting Omaha Heart up 6-0. Back to Highmark Stadium in downtown Pittsburgh. And the Pittsburgh natives are out enjoying this beautiful afternoon.
On what river was that, Mitch?
That's alongside the Mahalaga River.
That's the Monongahela.
Monongahela River. Not fair. You are a Pennsylvania native. And look at this. The Pennsylvania team finally in business near the midfield. Morgan Spencer and company starting at the 20-yard line. A nice-looking reverse. That is Astrid Cruz getting to the outside. And she's gone. Shalyn Durham cannot get there. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
What a great call by offensive coordinator Jermon Kynes. They had the reverse. They put Cruz out wide as the wide receiver came around on reverse. She has the speed to get around the corner, and she goes coast to coast. What a call, and what a run by Cruz. Wow.
You gotta like offensive coordinator Jermon Kynes adapting this offense literally during the pregame from Sonia Osselborn to Astrid Cruz, taking advantage of Cruz's speed versus Osselborn's might.
You're right. He changes the game plan on the fly. With Osselborn in the game, it's a power game. With Cruz in, you go outside with a speed like that. You're right. Great call by Kynes.
And a poor snap. It looked like Morgan Spencer never got the handle, so our score will remain 6-0. We've seen this before from this team.
The ball was there. Trejo got the ball up. I think Spencer just pulled out early.
That'll keep our score 6-6. That is a look at Jacqueline Trejo, the starting center, not able to get the ball back to Spencer. That'll cost him a point.
That's twice now on the center quarterback exchange. The first play of the game went over Spencer's head, and now these key points you can't give up like that. You have to put the points on the board.
Omaha's offense going back to work, an offense that's ranked 5th in the league. They've had a very strong run game throughout most of the 2017 season, but as we talked about, nothing through the air that'll impress you. That is a first down handoff to Jackie Good. Actually, that is Lindsay Noble. And Noble gaining 4 yards.
Lindsay Noble, a great all-around athlete. The first year for Omaha, she actually played quarterback. Now they play her in a number of positions.
Noble signing mid-season a number of veterans that had played the first season when Omaha did have some success, have decided to rejoin the team.
I really like how Dante Allen brought this team together, brought the veterans back. All they need now is Alex Drake to start connecting on some passes.
And this is another design keeper for Alex Drake, and nothing. That is Kim Jack, better known as Blanca. That's right, the Street Fighter character. She loves that, and that's become her persona.
Watch her pad level. At defensive end, she sheds the block, goes right into Drake. Again, I'm not sure why they're running Alex Drake. The quarterback coming off a concussion injury, they're running right into one of the greatest defensive ends in the LFL.
The Pittsburgh crowd coming to life on a 3rd and 7 for this offense. Drake will remain in the shotgun. As a running back flank to each side, Shalyn Durham. And now Raina Holiber. A little over 8 minutes remaining. Inside handoff, Shalyn Durham. And big collision there with Jolie Efizekai. We've got Durham mic'd up. Let's listen in.
Wow, that's like 2 freight trains on the same track going head-to-head when it looked like Durham was easily going to get the first down. Efizekai stopped her short.
A 4th and 1. That is Raina Holiber in motion. Handoff, Shalyn Durham. Durham getting to the outside, and that'll be plenty for another Omaha first down.
You really got to like the way she keeps her shoulders even with the line of scrimmage and turns downfield. She doesn't run outside. She goes and attacks the players right there. They needed short yardage, and they got it.
Head coach Joe DeBerry said his #1 goal coming into this game was to be competitive. Getting into the second half of this game, they're at least there now.
I like the way he doesn't rest on his laurels with a player he has. He goes out and gets free agents, brings in Kim Jack.
A 1st and 10 play. Drake buying time with her legs. Now lofting it into the end zone. A dangerous pass. You could see Efazekai just waiting on that football.
This is where the question marks come out about Alex Drake. She moved in the pocket well, created more time. She had a receiver open in the end zone, but she was short. If she floats that out in the corner, lets the receiver run under, it's a touchdown. That ball should have been picked off by Efazekai.
Throwing off her back foot, you know better than anybody, Bobby, as a quarterback, that football is just going to loft on you, and that is going to be dangerous no matter what league you're throwing in.
Absolutely, and she has a strong arm, even throwing off the back foot to get it out there. I don't know what she did with that pass.
An inside handoff to Jacqueline Good. Good will gain 7 yards. That has been the only success this Omaha offense has had, is with the run game.
The big uglies up front, they're getting it done tonight. Berth Wigman and Jackie Good, they are plowing that defensive line of Pittsburgh out.
Now a 3rd and 3 ball at the 6-yard line. Omaha's been able to move the ball. They've only come up with 6 points. They'll need to capitalize on this field position. Receivers flank to each side. That is Lindsey Noble in motion. Now Drake taking it herself again, forced out of bounds by Kenya McKeon. That'll be a loss of a yard.
You really got to question that play selection by Dante Allen. You have Shalyn Durham and Jackie Good getting big chunks of yardage behind that big offensive line, and you give it to your quarterback and she gets stuffed.
And trying to get to the outside with a quarterback that's not really fast in Alex Drake.
Not a good play selection at all. Again, give the ball to Durham. She's on fire right now.
A 4th and 4. Ball at the 7-yard line of Pittsburgh. Drake back to pass from the shotgun. Eluding the pass rush, rolling left, and now just losing her footing. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Give credit to this Pittsburgh defense.
The corner pitch comes off. Great flatline speed, a great reverse move. Throw the football, though. It's 4th down. You have to get rid of it. Right there, you just turn the ball back to Pittsburgh.
Exactly, Bobby. You got to take a shot at the end zone. Even if you throw an interception in that situation, Pittsburgh's going to get the ball back about the same spot. A little jawing back and forth. That's Shalyn Durham. You could see a little bit of that frustration now with this Omaha team.
You made a great point, though, Nick. The quarterback, we talked about how Alex Drake is not becoming the performer she thought she was going to be right there. She's got to know it's 4th down. Throw it up. Give your players a chance.
A 1st and 10 toss play to Astrid Cruz. Great defensive play there by Sarah Robinson. Sarah Robinson having one heck of a first half.
Robinson's a solid player. That whole defense, they're playing with some chaos out there. I like what Dante Allen and defensive coordinator Coach Good, they got them playing good football.
I like Astrid Cruz giving the dimension of being able to get to the outside. Osselborn was a very north-south runner. Cruz gives you a bit of everything.
I like the fact that she stepped up her game. She was not supposed to start tonight. She gets thrown in there, and then she's playing great football at the running back position.
A 2nd and 10, fake the toss to Cruz. Now over the middle. That was just a duck. And I don't know, did they do a lot of duck shooting around here in Pennsylvania? Because that thing hung for quite a bit.
That was not a good play by Morgan Spencer. That was floating up there. You're right, a lot of hunters up here. I thought I heard a couple shotguns go off there. She threw it up for grabs. She got very lucky that didn't get picked.
That is something that offensive coordinator Dramont Kynes has stressed with Spencer is her footwork. She throws off her back foot, backpedaling a lot, and that ends up with key turnovers throughout the season.
The ball just floats. When you throw off your back foot, that's what happens.
A little better toss. Good touch there by Spencer. That is complete to Astrid Cruz. A gain of 7.
A swing route out of the backfield. Now, you see her feet. You throw with your feet. She had her feet set. She threw a little velvet touch there. A great catch by Astrid Cruz. Cruz is playing amazing football tonight.
Cruz showing you hands out of the backfield. You don't get a lot of that with running backs in this game. They're either runners or receivers. Cruz is one of those hybrid-type running backs.
Absolutely. Jerome Kynes, the offensive coordinator, knew what he was doing when he started Cruz when he found out Osselborn couldn't play.
A 4th and 3 reverse. That is Quaylin Pitts. And Pitts trying to get to the outside. Look at that swarming Omaha defense. Only gaining a yard. That'll turn it back over.
Great play by Jackie Good. She didn't fall for that play fake. She kept containment outside. Pitts could not do anything. Just an outstanding defensive play.
Raina Holobar, the running back coming through, and that's Sonia Osselborn, the injured running back, coaching up Pitts.
She's coaching up Pitts. She wants to be in the game, but I don't know what she's coaching for because there was nothing there for Pitts. She has outside speed around the edge. There was no edge there.
Give credit both of these defenses. They're turning the ball back over to their offense. Coming into tonight's game, Pittsburgh's defense was a +5 turnover margin, and Omaha's at +2. Those are impressive.
I'm really impressed by both teams, the way they're playing solid football tonight. The only thing that's not happening is Drake's passing game.
And that is Drake on cue, completing this one. That is to Lindsey Howell, their #1 receiver. That'll be a gain of 8 yards.
That's why all the scouts in the LFL think Drake has such a high ceiling and potential. When she stays in the pocket, sets her feet, throws balls like that, she looks as good as any quarterback in the league.
On paper, she's kind of like a Ryan Leaf for some of you older football quarterbacks back there.
Ryan Leaf.
Well, look, she looks the part just like Ryan Leaf. Nice stature, good arm, and has, like you said, the potential to deliver the ball.
Good analogy. Ryan Leaf was a #1 pick with all the skill levels in the world, just like Alex Drake. We haven't seen it yet, though.
That'll take us to the 2-minute warning in a game that's tied up 6-6 with Omaha threatening. Back to LFL football night here at Highmark Stadium on a beautiful night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It is a crisp night. This is classic Pennsylvania football.
Alex Drake in this offense going back to work from the shotgun. A little misdirection handoff. That's Shalyn Durham. Durham will gain a yard. You could see a lot of collisions in there. We've got Durham mic'd up. This is a very physical ball game, at least here in the first half.
That's the play that broke for big yardage before. Pittsburgh was all over it. They didn't fall for that trap.
A 3rd and 1 for Alex Drake in this offense. That is Lindsey Noble in motion. Handoff Holliber getting to the outside. Great seal blocking. Touchdown, Omaha.
Lindsey Noble. I can't. Is that the Dougie? I haven't seen the Dougie in about 5 years.
A little bit of a retro move here from the Omaha Heart, but look at the seal blocking on this.
That's Noble. She got outside. She brought the corner back in with nobody on the outside. She took it in the end zone. Great call, great run, great blocking again by Omaha. They're doing it on the ground.
A pair of smaller running backs making a big difference here in the first half. Pittsburgh with Astrid Cruz and Omaha with Raina Holliber.
Can you imagine if Omaha's passing game started clicking? They've only completed 1 pass so far this half.
That is Drake on the extra point attempt. Again, using Drake's side to try to get to the outside. That is just ugly. I don't care if you converted that. You cannot continue to risk your quarterback.
Not at all. And she had a concussion in their last game in Los Angeles. It's just bad play calling.
As we said, Drake did convert. That'll give Omaha a 13-6 lead with a little over a minute remaining here.
This is a good football game on both sides. Yeah, we're getting on Drake a little bit because we're non-passing, but this is good football.
Benser back to drop, showing that arm strength. Down the field and connecting. That is Jolia Fazekai, and that is a 34-yard completion.
What a great pre-snap read by Morgan Spencer. They were in straight man coverage, and again, if Fazekai was matched up on Durham, a mismatch because she's 6'1", Spencer just gives her a shot. Not a great pass, but got her a chance to get up there and get it. Gets it down to the 1-yard line. What a play by a Fazekai, and a really good throw by Morgan Spencer.
Durham simply does not have the speed to keep up with the Fazekai. And now a 1st and goal play. Look at that Omaha defense led by Jacqueline Good. That'll be a no-gain carry, actually. As the clock continues to run, Pittsburgh does not have any timeouts, so they need to be watching the football here. More importantly, the clock, as we are under 45 seconds.
Jackie Good, we talked about her all last year. She is a stopper in the middle. They ran right at her, thinking they're going to easily get 1 yard, and she said, no way.
The clock continues to run. We are under 30 seconds remaining, and no timeouts again for Pittsburgh. Spencer under center, handoff to Cruz. And cruising into the end zone for a Pittsburgh touchdown.
I love that little jab step by Cruz. That one little jab step. Amanda Hogan came in and she said, boom, bam, went outside. What a play by Cruz.
Morgan Spencer also selling this play a bit.
Watch that jab step. Boom, then she takes it outside. Hogan gets sucked in. Straight on right in the face. I'm going to tell you what, Cruz is coming into her own tonight.
I think you can't give number 3 enough credit coming into this game. As late as the pregame warm-up, Sonia Osselborn was to start, and Cruz had to immediately get ready to start in this game. That is Spencer back to pass on the extra point and connecting with the Fezekai. What about the size in the hands on number 15?
She is the Megatron of the LFL. Look at that size. Right now, the Omaha secondary, very porous. Look, nobody covered her. They missed her. It should be one-on-one right there. Dorm didn't find her. Wide open in the end zone. Bad play by Jackie Good.
Yeah, you could see a Fezekai just wailing her hands wide open in the back of the end zone.
Morgan Spencer again. It's so great the way she's playing quarterback. She doesn't look pretty back there, but she's getting it done.
And with that effort, Pittsburgh takes the lead at 14-13. Alex Drake now having 20 seconds and 2 timeouts to try to mount a rally. Drake back to pass, taking off with it. And here comes that defense. Drake gaining 5 yards. The clock continuing to run now. Omaha electing to call a timeout.
Again, you have to have confidence in your arm. You have a trip set. You have the receivers all running 9 routes down there. And she turns it up, took a lot of time off the clock, but he needs more confidence throwing the football.
This is a big opportunity for this Pittsburgh defense to really step up, and a big moral boost if you go into the locker room with a 1-point lead.
I'm sure right now, Coach Good, the defensive coordinator for Omaha, is putting in a pre-bank cover.
Just picture up your shoes alone. On the goal line, I go. She lined up on the outside, and there's still a running back. So I kept going, and she was gone. There was no corner there. I would never cover that chip, ever. The only reason why I picked her up is because she was so low. No, I'm fine. I'm just not going to get yelled at for some shit that's not mine. So we just need to make the corrections so the people line up right. I'm not bitching. I'm just saying I want to make it right.
That's frustration. Being down to an expansion team, 13-14, some of that is going to come to the surface.
Well, that's Jackie Good talking about their touchdown pass. She was the last one in the picture, but it was actually Durham was supposed to cover a Fezekai, and they were yelling at Jackie Good, and that wasn't her receiver.
Omaha has time for one more play here. Right back to pass, has the arm to get it down the field. Now the pressure getting to Drake. Drake getting to the outside and tiptoeing along the sideline. But they're going to mark her out. Only a 1-yard gain. Colliding with Tracy Wilmer, and Wilmer still down. That'll bring us to the end of the first half. It has been a back-and-forth physical battle with the hometown Pittsburgh Rebellion out 14-13. Back with halftime after this.
Corner, all right, so stay outside, stay outside, stay outside. You guys take it outside, stay outside.
You guys line up on that outside. I know you have the outside person, but if they don't release and the inside person releases, that's still your area. Don't let them cross your face and just let them go. That's your area. So backpedal a little bit, read the run, and then you attack.
All right. It's not over yet. It's not looking like it's over.
Hey, stay high. Stay high. You got their fucking ass. Hey, this is our game. Second half's ours.
They have a few great plays, and that's just where they happen to get us. A few great plays. Everything else is garbage.
Capitalize on our mistakes. So don't make it. Let's eliminate those mistakes.
They now
okay?
know that we're getting beat deep. Don't let
They're
them
gonna go deep.
Yeah, it's not happening again.
That bitch isn't running any route. She's just running straight. Morgan's gonna have her every fucking time. She's tall. Like Dante said, as soon as she reaches that ball, set her fucking arm down. Take her out. They do shit. They're not gonna call that. That's legal.
Offensively, you know your DBs.
They're on the same play I told you. So, when line with the trip.
Yep.
What are they doing? Quarterback's with they're trying to pass on it, right? So now, what they're trying to do too, they'll have the quarterback here, like this. You'll try to motion her, you'll give her the ball, or they'll run it this way, or she'll pull her and come that way. What I told y'all they were going to do. Yep.
Coach, can you explain what I just told you?
All right, listen.
Kenya also has like.
So listen, when they do this, we want to line up and
Watch
The D line is killing him. The quarterback is scared. We need a key off that. Stay intense, stay aggressive. We can do this.
Welcome back to LFL Football Night. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco. A halftime score of 14-13. The good guys up if you're a Pittsburgh Rebellion fan. This is an 0-2 team, yet they're up on the Omaha Heart here at halftime. Are you impressed by their effort at all?
Yes, I am. They are really coming together as a team. I'm really impressed by quarterback Morgan Spencer. She's playing good game control football at that quarterback position. Even her interception that was on a deflected ball, she looks rock solid.
What about the other quarterback, Alex Drake? We talked about her in the pregame show having a tough 2017 season, and that's carrying over to this game, going 1 of 4 in the first half, also throwing an interception.
I'm not sure why she wants to run the football. She is a great thrower, 1 of 4. That's not going to cut it in the LFL. And you see what happened when she runs the football. She gets banged up and gets knocked out of the game. It happened last game. Hopefully it doesn't happen tonight.
Did not do anything through the air, really, but she did manage some scoring. Let's take a look at the first half scores. The first one was Alex Drake from 1 yard out, giving an Omaha an early 6-0 lead. Then Pittsburgh answered, but not till the second quarter on the legs of Rachel Manzo from 30 yards out. That gave us a tie game of 6-6. Then it was Omaha's veteran running back, Raina Holibar, from 10 yards out, giving Omaha a 13-6 lead. Right before the half, Manzo was not done with under a minute remaining, converting on this 1 yard touchdown run. That gives us our halftime score of 14-13, Pittsburgh up. Let's take a look at the halftime stats.
As you can see, they're two evenly matched teams. The difference is the passing yardage. Somehow, Omaha quarterback Alex Drake, she has to deliver in the second half.
That'll do it for us here at halftime. One of these two teams will keep their playoff hopes alive. The second half kickoff is next. Back for the second half on a beautiful night here in Pittsburgh as we look at our quarterbacks through one half of play.
Morgan Spencer clearly outplayed Alex Drake in the first half. Was 4 out of 7, 59 yards. Drake only 1 out of 4 with 1 interception. In her previous game, she was 1 out of 8. Alex Drake needs to step her game up.
And speaking of Morgan Spencer, look at the leg. An ill-advised return here by Lindsey Noble. That's one you just let sit in the end zone. And she'll get it out to about the 13-yard line. That could have been disastrous for Omaha.
Lindsey Noble, a veteran player. She knows better than to bring that out. That was deep in the end zone. Just take a knee.
Noble did manage to get it out to the 13-yard line. And that is where Alex Drake will go to work with this offense. Drake was 1 of 4, as we talked about, through an interception. So not exactly the start she was hoping for.
Not at all, but for those bad stats, they are only down 1 point coming into the second half.
Drake under center, hands it off to Shalyn Durham. And Durham gaining 4 yards. Gracie Wilmer on the tackle.
Shalyn Durham is just a grinder. There was absolutely nothing there. She squared her shoulders, and she made like hamburger out of that defensive line, and there was no holds.
What I like about her, she doesn't do a lot of dancing, as you mentioned. She's going to get what's there. She's a consistent 3 to 4 yard average back. Now a 2nd and 6. They fake it to Durham. This time a reverse to Noble. And Noble gaining 3 yards, trying to use some of that speed with number 4.
They've tried a couple times to go outside, and it's not working. They are totally getting it done between the tackles, but the outside running game, not there.
A 3rd and 3. This Pittsburgh team has got to have, they had to have great momentum going into halftime, being up by a point against an established franchise like Omaha. And that is Alex Drake keeping it herself for 6 yards. So they continue to use the feet of Alex Drake.
I don't like the call, but what I do like, that call there, she's not taking a big hit. She got good yardage, and she got out of bounds, didn't take a hit to her head.
That 6-yard Drake run setting up this offense with a 1st and 10. Ball on the Pittsburgh side of the field. Like I said, this offense has moved the ball throughout the first half, just has not had a lot of points to show for it. A 1st and 10 play. That is Howell in motion. Shalyn Durham, big-time collision with the Fezekai. Those two met in the first half. Let's listen in.
Those two might end up being best friends and roommates as much as they're seeing of each other tonight. They're matching up on one-to-one coverage. Hits like that's the 2nd time. Great hit by a Fezekai from that safety position.
And you could see Shalyn Durham there limping, tapping herself out of this game. That could be a big loss. They do have Rainer Holliber, and you could see Holliber's in the game, but that would be a big loss for this offense.
That would be a huge loss. She has been the entire offense in the first half, and she's replacing Nikki Bernhardt, who's out, so that'd be their top 2 running backs out.
A 2nd and 5 after that Durham run. Drake seems to be more comfortable in the shotgun. Dropping back to pass, rolling right, and just content to just take off with it and take the punishment from Kim Jack.
She's done that all year. She leaves the pocket too early. You take your drop, you step up, throw the football, deliver the ball. She takes off running too many times.
I think there are opportunities where you, like you said, just throw the football away, literally live to play another down.
Throw it away or throw it to your receiver. We haven't even seen any completions. We saw one. That was it for the whole game so far.
A 3rd and 3 ball at the Pittsburgh 17-yard line. From the shotgun, Drake just a quick pass in the flat, complete. And that is Noble breaking through arm tackles and getting down to about the 5-yard line.
Now that's okay though. It wasn't a big play, a big pass. She took her drop, a swing pattern to Noble out of the backfield. Just get her the football in free space and let her do her stuff. Good play by both players.
That is a good play call. Get Drake's confidence up. Get her comfortable with throwing the football.
Completion's easy completion, not going to get picked off. She works on her steps, and they move the football down the field.
A 1st and goal for the Omaha offense. Down a point here in the 3rd quarter. That is Lindsey Howell in motion again. A poor snap at the feet of Drake. That's all Alex Drake could do was to recover that. That'll be a loss of 4 yards.
Again, the snap killing the play. They had it there, but she couldn't field it. It wasn't a crazy bad snap, but she couldn't handle it all, and it killed the play.
You cannot make those kinds of errors here in the red zone, especially with an expansion team that you're down to.
Absolutely. I hate to say it again about Drake, but she's got to steal that football and make a play.
Now a 2nd and goal. They lost 4 yards, so ball's back at about the 10-yard line. That's Noble in motion at the top of the screen. That is a design keeper to the outside. Drake gaining about 5 yards on that keeper.
Good run by her. Again, she didn't take the hit. That play I don't mind because she's running toward the sideline, short side of the field. She got her yardage and got out of bounds. Didn't take a hit.
They seem to want to work the outside when Drake runs the ball.
We need a big stop. We need a big stop, y'all. 3rd and 5. Big stop. Let's go.
There's the leadership of Jolia Fezekai having a great ball game already and stepping up on the defensive side.
He's having a great game on both sides of the football.
A 3rd and goal play. Look at Kim Jack just blow up the front line of Omaha and tackle Drake for a loss.
That's how she played in Baltimore. That burst off the line of scrimmage, just got by a swim technique over the top. Nobody there to block her and brings Drake down.
What a midseason addition number 19 has been. Blanca is just a destructive force. She says she loves to play physical.
She's playing like it was back in Baltimore in her all-fantasy years. She might be making a run all-fantasy again here in Pittsburgh.
A 4th and goal, Highmark Stadium coming to life. Alex Drake in this offense trying to get back on top here. From the shotgun, looking into the end zone, into the back of the end zone. And that is caught. Lindsey Howell, touchdown Omaha.
That's what we're talking about right there. Give your receivers a chance. Step up in the pocket, throw it. Howell wasn't that open, but Alex Drake laid it out there, gave her a chance to catch it. One-on-one coverage. Lindsey Howell stabs it. Great catch in the back of the end zone.
Howell, not exactly an impressive specimen physically, but obviously delivering for this offense.
Just a great all-around sports player in a lot of different sports. On this team, we've seen her at quarterback, we've seen her at running back, we've seen her at receiver. She makes plays like that.
Howell in her 4th season with Omaha. Omaha not having a deep down the field threat. Maybe Howell's the answer there.
I'll tell you where Howell is the answer to. The confidence of Alex Drake right there, making a great catch. That's got to help the confidence of quarterback Drake.
Michael Jarasinski on the call.
Delay a game, offense number 16. The extra point will be retried.
That is a big-time play in a game that's 19-14. You need every point you can get, and that's a delay a game on Alex Drake.
That's a rookie mistake by Drake, and she's a veteran quarterback. You can't do that. That can cost your team points.
Now the extra point attempt, ball at the 6-yard line. Another low snap. Drake, half speed, trying to get into the end zone. A lot of collisions, but Drake does convert. That'll put Omaha on top 20-14, and Drake is very slow getting up.
That's not a good sign. This is what we're talking about. You don't want to get your star quarterback hit like this. You actually scored points. A great block by Holobar on pitch to get her to the end zone, but you don't want to see your quarterback take shots like that. You see it right here. She gets to the edge. Watch that block outside by Holobar, and then she plows into the DB head first, and she's coming off of a concussion.
Alex Drake really trying to use her size, especially down there around the goal line, but that's going to catch up to you at some point.
She has to protect herself, and she's not doing it right now. She's trying to plow into defensive backs and linebackers, and you're going to get hurt like she did against Los Angeles.
Morgan Spencer, the league's 5th-ranked quarterback, will bring the offense back on the field, trailing by 6. That is a handoff to Cruz, and Cruz cutting back inside. He'll gain 3 yards on the carry.
You got to like the way Cruz runs the football. She has a great base. You see that cut there? Because she's not over-leaning one way or the other. He cut inside, got positive yardage. But getting back to Morgan Spencer, I think a lot has to do with the offensive coordinator they brought in, Jermon Kynes from Syracuse. Her game changed when he started calling plays.
Cruz will look to get a majority of the carries. You could see Alex Drake still speaking to the LFL medical staff. Her return, we're being told now, is doubtful.
That's not a good sign if she's still talking to doctors right now.
A 2nd and 7 handoff. That's Remy Olenzak, the veteran running back, who's currently listed as the 3rd running back on this depth chart. In fact, we sat down with Olenzak and talked to her about this Pittsburgh Rebellion.
We're going to compete to the best of our abilities these last 2 games. This game is pretty evenly matched. But what I'm really looking forward to is the offseason, where we can be a more cohesive unit and have more time to build the future of our team.
That's a great point by Remy Olenzak, the leader. She's a Pittsburgh native. But this team, they're playing good football now. They got a shot to make the playoffs, outside shot. But watch out for them in 2018.
That is the thing. With a win, Pittsburgh will keep pace with the Atlanta Steam. And just behind the Chicago Bliss, that was a completion. It looked to be with Quaylen Pitts, and we've got some fists flying here. Pitts taking exception to the end of that play. And now that's number 6, Chelsea Hoffman, getting into it. This game is about to get ugly. They've got to get these two separated.
Calm your fucking self. Calm your fucking self. Calm yourself.
Wow, did you see all the Omaha players back off when Megatron showed up? He said, calm down. They walked away.
And you could see here, that is the completion to Pitts. And then Jacqueline Good just ripping that football away.
The result of the play is an interception by Omaha. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Pittsburgh number 18, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So not only does Pittsburgh lose possession, They're going to get an unsportsmanlike call tacked on to the end of that.
Not a good play at all by Quaylen Pitts. She had the ball. Good pass by Morgan Spencer. Good came in flat out, just stole it from her. And Pitts was still upset. She started throwing punches, which totally penalized Pittsburgh now.
So Pittsburgh will once again have to play some defense. Down 20-14, and that is head coach Joe DeBerry looking at the replay. And he had the challenge flag. I'm not sure what he's trying to challenge here or even exploring the challenge. It was an unsportsmanlike call. Maybe he's challenging possession on the interception.
That's the only thing he could challenge, and that was a clear interception.
Bench that fucking quarterback. She's not going to know how to hand off. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't fucking know. No, you don't. Your quarterback don't.
Delay a game, offense number 11, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
The Fezekai clearly not a fan of Lindsey Howell.
You got to love it. A Fezekai saw there's a backup quarterback in the game, trying to get inside her head, talking some trash, and it worked.
Lindsey Howell did not have the most impressive of quarterback resumes in 2016. Hence, they went out and signed Alex Drake. A 1st and 15 handoff. Oh, you could see Shalyn Durham just tiptoeing and getting lit up by Tracy Wilmer.
Durham pulled up. She's got a leg injury right there. She became a target for a Fezekai.
You could see Durham in no hurry to get up after that and still down on the ground.
Look, these bitches boiling my fucking blood. I'm taking people out just like they take my fucking teammates out. That's right. You take my teammates out, I'll take your teammates out. What's up?
A Fezekai fast becoming one of the bigger talkers in the game, at least.
She is the leader for Pittsburgh right now. She's taking them out one at a time and loving it.
Alex Drake still on the sideline as part of the concussion protocol. This time a handoff to Jacqueline Good. And Good gaining 4 yards on the carry.
Omaha with 2 of their top players out right now. They still have the lead with a backup quarterback, Lindsey Howell, in the game. Don't be surprised if they keep this ball on the ground trying to run clock.
As we said, Howell's resume, not one of the better ones when it comes to throwing the football. And now with Shalyn Durham out, we're probably going to get a nice dosage of Raina Holibar and perhaps Howell with just quarterback keepers.
I don't think they'll try to throw it, maybe have a turnover. They have the lead. They're going to try to protect that lead somehow.
This should be the final play of the third quarter. And that's an end-around handoff to number 18. That is Courtney Jensen, the recently signed rookie wide receiver. And they're going into the well here, trying to pull more and more people.
With all their running backs hurt, their quarterback out, they will bring some other players in.
And that is Tracy Wilmer going down for Pittsburgh. It is a hot night. A lot of the athletes are dehydrated as we come to the end of 3 quarters of play. Omaha up 20-14. Back for the final 10 minutes of play here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As the sun is starting to set, people are still out on those boats. A great setting for LFL football.
Great seeing all those boats out on the Monongahela River, one of my favorite rivers in the country.
I'm not going to even attempt that. I've had problems with that all season. I know the Ohio River and the, what is it, the Appalachian, they all come together.
The Allegheny.
Or the Allegheny, correct.
And they all come together at Primanti's.
Fair enough. Primanti's. That's a sandwich place, legendary here in Pittsburgh. If you're in town, check it out. Back to football on a 4th and 9. Howell back to pass. Evading the rush, now scrambling to the right, cutting back. Everybody missing Howell. That is a gain of 7 yards. That'll be about 2 yards short. And Pittsburgh will take over on downs.
This is what Lindsey Howell gives you. He's a feisty competitor. She will not give up. She breaks tackles. She almost gets the first, breaks 2 tackles. The Fezekai can't get her down, but she gets torn down 2 yards short. Ball goes back to Pittsburgh.
Throw it. She was wide open. Okay, but remember, use your legs, get outside, dump it off to her. You can put a move on somebody back there, right?
That's Lindsey Howell. I've never heard a player say I was scared.
I don't think she wanted to say scared. I think she should have just said he was going to get tackled, but maybe she was obviously scared.
It just feels at times, Lindsey Howell, we saw it all through the 2016 season, is just not meant for the quarterback position. And we're seeing that here tonight.
Yep, that's what happened when she was the starter for Omaha, but there's nobody left, and she has to play, and she doesn't make good decisions like right there. She should have thrown the football.
A key drive here for Pittsburgh. Morgan Spencer eluding the rush and tiptoeing her way up the sideline. They're going to credit her for 7 yards on this carry.
Now you can tell Morgan Spencer is not scared. Deep in the end zone. She sheds 2 tacklers, takes it down the sideline. That's an athlete right there.
This is where names are made. Morgan Spencer here on the national stage has an opportunity to capture the first ever franchise win for Pittsburgh.
Her game has completely turned around. The old Morgan Spencer might have ran out of the back of the end zone. She stayed composed and made a big gain out of it.
That is Astrid Cruz in motion, cutting back to the inside. A good, solid run by number 3, gaining 7 yards. That'll be enough for a Pittsburgh first down.
She's going to become a great running back. The way she keeps her weight under her pads and can make a jump cut like that, make something out of nothing. Love her at running back.
Another advantage Cruz has over most backs is her size at 5'1". A lot of defensive players cannot find you behind your blocks.
Absolutely right. And she makes those short cuts, that jump back like that. She gets lost in all the riffraff, and then she makes a big gain.
A 1st and 10. They're going to keep it on the ground with Cruz. And Cruz showing a lot of confidence. However, only gaining 3 yards. That was Jacqueline Good on the tackle.
That front line of Pittsburgh right now, Trejo, Pitts, and Campese, they're blowing some holes open on that Omaha line.
Now a 2nd and 7. Plenty of time remaining in this game, and Pittsburgh does have 2 timeouts remaining in a 6-point ball game. This is exactly what we were hoping for into the 4th quarter, and more importantly, what Pittsburgh head coach Joe DeBerry said during the week. We want to be competitive going into the 4th quarter.
Absolutely. And Morgan Spencer, we talked about it. They have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Another handoff to Cruz that looked to be a little bit of confusion in the backfield. A gain of 2 for Cruz.
A lot of confusion in the backfield. She made something out of nothing. Luckily, she got 2 yards, but that was definitely miscommunication between Morgan Spencer and Cruz.
Now it looks like they've got Misty Gonzalez in at center. You've seen them have some failures there with the snap, and I don't know if that had anything to do with the blocking scheme, but there was some confusion on that play.
Offensive coordinator Jermon Kynes, he said they like cross trainers on the front line. They can adjust them to play center, tackle, move around a little bit.
And we've got a timeout, Pittsburgh. They trail this one 20-14. Back to 4th quarter action of LFL football night. Mitch Mortazo alongside Bobby Huco in a great ball game here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with the Rebellion down 20-14. Now Spencer taking a shot down the field and just overthrowing a Fezekai.
I like the way Morgan Spencer was throwing the football. She threw that on timing early, right when Fezekai was even with Jackie Good. She just overthrowed a little bit. They're getting behind the secondary of Omaha.
We're near the 7-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. You got to figure a way that Pittsburgh has got to extend this drive now with a 4th and 5.
They don't have many options. They're not going to run the ball, obviously. They have everybody as wide receivers right now in the shotgun. Let's see what Morgan Spencer can come up with.
Spencer with a deep drop, throwing down the field to Quaylen Pitts. And I didn't have a great angle of that, but that looked like maybe the ball went through the hands of Pitts.
Pitts stopped running the pattern. I don't know why she stopped. She could have ran through that for a touchdown.
And now we've got another back and forth. That is Gina Campese just dropping an Omaha player. And we'll see if she gets a flag here. Campese obviously not happy.
Wow, that was like a pile driver.
You could see here Gina Campese clearly walking off the field. And then Chelsea Hoffman giving her a shove. And then Campese. If Campese had landed that right hook, I don't know that Hoffman would still be standing.
And then she slapped her across the face again.
2 penalties against her.
It's flagrant at the same time. I think we should pitch her.
Especially if it's 2 penalties.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. But I'm not calling both penalties. I'm calling 1 dead ball foul. She's gone. Okay?
Why are we standing here not talking about
Chelsea Hoffman, she started it. I think she's going to get the best of it. Looks like they're going to call 2 fouls against Campese and maybe kick her out of the game.
Why won't they give you
That is Remy Olenzak trying to calm down Campisi.
The result of the play is a turnover on downs. Omaha will get the ball 1st and 10. After the play, personal foul, 18 on the defense. Number 18 has ejected herself from tonight's contest.
Wow, that's a big move. She is a vital part of this offense and defense. Campisi clearly not happy.
Campisi just walking off the field. Chelsea Hoffman hits her first. Campisi hits her back, and now she's getting thrown out of the ball game.
What do they say? They always catch the second person. If you're going to hit somebody, do it first.
And she is so powerful. Obviously, that punch was a lot more powerful than what Hoffman threw at her.
You could see Campisi very emotional on the sideline as Omaha will take over on downs 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 15-yard line.
I do not agree with that call at all. Campisi was walking off to the sideline, minding her own business, and got hit from behind.
We'll see if Howell can mount a drive here. Omaha is up 20-14 and has both of its timeouts remaining.
That penalty was huge. Omaha now has the ball inside the 20, and they can take the lead with a score.
Now we've got a challenge flag out here from the Pittsburgh sideline.
Go back and watch it. That wasn't a punch. It was an open hand. They just told me I can challenge it.
That is head coach Joe DeBerry challenging whether that was a closed fist punch or a slap. Now I'll explain the difference. The LFL has adopted a new rule this year that if you connect on a closed fist punch, you're automatically ejected. If it's a head slap, that's not an ejection, so that's what they're looking at here. Head referee Michael Jarasinski very busy tonight.
Pittsburgh has challenged the ruling on the field on number 18's ejection.
I like that challenge. I think he's right. Number one, she threw the second punch. The first punch, that should be kicked out of the game, and it was an open hand.
If it's an open hand, Campisi should be allowed to return in this game. We'll take another look at it here. That is the Hoffman shove of Campisi, and she comes up and wails at her. That looks like a slap to me, though.
That is a slap. I've gotten a lot of them, and that was definitely a slap.
Usually that's the case on a Hugo at the end of the date. Bobby Hugo has gotten a few of those landed across the chin.
I do know what that looks like.
We'll see what the call is here.
After review, it's been confirmed 18 still ejected.
Did not expect that. You could see frustrated as Joe DeBerry.
I'm going to show you a punch, man.
Joe DeBerry's telling the referee he's going to show him a punch with a closed fist and show him the difference. Now, I don't blame DeBerry for being upset. If this would have been called right, it would have been against
These refs
Omaha.
Are ass, dude. He didn't even look at the fucking screen. That's why they took it away from her, so it wouldn't show him not looking.
Joe DeBerry's still upset, and it's not only the loss of yardage with the unsportsmanlike call. Gina Campisi is a major part of this team.
And if Hoffman would have got called for throwing the first punch, this would still be Pittsburgh ball.
Meanwhile, down on the field, that is Raina Holobar, an impressive run to the outside, gaining 7 yards on the carry.
You really have to hand it to Holobar. She came in here with 2 running backs out, the quarterback out, and she still gets positive yardage. Good running back, solid player.
Make that a 9-yard carry. As the clock continues to run, we're approaching the 6-minute mark. This could be the final nail in the coffin for Pittsburgh if Omaha can mount a drive and get a score here.
Lindsey Howe is not a great quarterback, but she is a veteran. She has started in this league. As long as she doesn't make mistakes, their running game is working.
A 2nd and 1, ball down to the 6-yard line of Pittsburgh. Howell under center and just being pushed back, and now sloppily trying to hand it off. That was Lindsey Noble getting back on the football. That could have been disastrous for this Omaha team.
It could have also been a touchdown if somehow she could have grabbed that. She had the corner and there was nobody out there. Howell actually did a great job of getting the football out there.
Now wait a minute, they are marking this a fumble and a recovery by Pittsburgh. There's the fumble clearly on the ground, but it looked like Noble got back on it.
Once the ball is on the ground and that scrum happens, with everybody grabbing for the football, it's really who comes up with the football.
Yeah, they're going to give the ball back over to Pittsburgh. How big is that? That looked like Danielle Bush on the recovery, but Noble had the angle on it. And is that a case where who's got the stronger arms down there?
That's how it usually occurs, but that was clearly recovered by Omaha. I don't know how they missed it. That's 2 calls in a row. I do not agree with the officials.
Pittsburgh getting new life here. A 1st and 10 at its own 15-yard line. Spencer faking the toss right. This is a design rollout, and look at Spencer keeping her balance, and she'll gain 4 yards.
Spencer is deceptively fast. Sometimes she looks like a newborn horse running, but somehow she gets around the corner. Watch this. It's a bootleg, a naked bootleg. She gets outside. If she can stay in, it's a big game, but she runs out of bounds.
Spencer getting to the outside of Kelsey Lane. We do have a penalty on that previous play. This looks to be a holding. I'm not sure if that's on Pittsburgh or possibly the secondary of Omaha.
This game got ugly quick. It was such a good football game here in the last minute or so. A lot of penalties.
Holding defense, number 17, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
That is a huge call. That penalty is on Macy and Sarah, and that adds another 10 yards to the end of the Spencer run.
Wow, when the Omaha coaching staff watch these films, I don't know how this game is going to end, but they're giving this game away right now.
Spencer now 1st and 10, ball at midfield. So Pittsburgh has plenty of time here, and they do have a timeout remaining. Is an end-around reverse or the fake reverse to Quaylen Pitts, and Pitts gaining 3 yards.
They were hoping they would go for the fake reverse. Pitts kept the ball. She has blazing speed, but she gained positive yards, but actually a solid play by the defense of Omaha.
I like the speed of Pitts getting to the outside, and now with Astrid Cruz, they're almost like an identical set in the backfield.
If they can tighten up Pitts' game, she has explosive potential.
A 2nd and 7, empty back set. Morgan Spencer under center, dropping back. Here comes the blitz by Omaha, rolling right. Spencer having a lot of success on the sidelines, gaining 7 yards.
I don't know how she's getting outside the pocket because she does not have blazing speed, but somehow, it seems like all night long, she's turning the corner for positive yardage.
And that is a 1st down, Pittsburgh. A nice-looking drive here by the veteran quarterback, Morgan Spencer.
Alex Drake could take notes. Spencer gets yardage and then gets out of bounds. She doesn't take big hits.
1st and 10, Spencer setting up Astrid Cruz in the backfield. Now under center, going to hand it off to Cruz. Cruz has a lane, and boy, that closes up pretty quickly. Jacqueline Good on the tackle.
Cruz does one thing great running backs do. She runs to daylight. She finds daylight. There's never any holes up front, and she'll find the hole to go through.
That 3-yard Cruz run now setting up a 2nd and 7. That is defensive coordinator Cale Good of the Omaha Heart. His defense, always one of the better ones in the league. They got to come up with a stop here somehow.
It's going to come down to their defense. Absolutely. They're going to have to make a stop on Morgan Spencer this drive.
Now a 2nd and 7. A quick dart to Efezikai, and just beyond her outstretched hands.
Great read by Morgan Spencer. Just a little bit out of front of Efezikai. She got behind Lindsay Noble again. She's got behind that Omaha secondary all night. If that was a little bit underthrown, it would have been another touchdown for Pittsburgh.
Efezikai, a big target. I don't know how quite you miss her, standing at 6'1" in the wingspan of a bald eagle.
I can't believe Omaha's defense has not adjusted to take the top off, so you have a defense. She's gotten behind the safeties all night long.
A 3rd and 7 reverse to Cruz. Now Cruz cutting it inside. And that interior of that Omaha defense, led by Sarah Robinson, is having a great game.
If Cruz could have kept that outside, she actually had the quarterback out there sealing the side, Morgan Spencer. She cut it up. It could have been big if she stayed outside.
Now a 4th and 5, a sloppy snap back to Spencer. Nothing doing. A great tackle there by Macy and Sarah. So give credit to this Omaha defense. They held.
They held, but again, Jacqueline Trejo, the center, that's a 3rd time tonight that a bad snap has caught them a series.
Omaha, just when Pittsburgh was threatening, Hale Good's defense comes through once again.
Last 2 minutes of the fucking game. Stupid. These coaches are just doing definitely.
Come on, we need the ball back. Come on, pass. Fix it. Nice rebound.
He's not good at it.
That happens in football, though. The offensive coordinator and quarterback, they go at it like Phil Simms used to do with Bill Parcells, Dick Kid McMahon. He's not happy with the play calling right now of Jermont Kynes.
A 1st and 10, ball at the Omaha 13. That is an inside handoff to number 4. That looks like Lindsey Noble. Make that Raina Holobar. That is a gain of 3 yards. And now Omaha, all they have to do is run this clock out.
Don't be surprised if Hal gives the ball to Holobar every play, just running that 2 minutes out.
That'll take us to the 2-minute warning with Pittsburgh down 20-14, but fighting back.
They're running out, trying to run outside.
Maybe you push the rock and wide open.
Contain. Keep them inside. All right, so we're going to go cover 3. But once we engage,
Just need more practice.
Even if they're in spread, you want to
Hold her up and someone else get in there and punch the ball out.
Back to LFL football night as we take a listen in to the Pittsburgh sideline.
Smart coaching there by DeBurry and their staff trying to get them to strip the football. Whoever gets to the running back first, hold them up. The other players come in and strip the football out.
A 2nd and 7, and as we said before the break, Omaha now simply just has to run out the clock and get out of here with the win. Al back in the shotgun. A low snap. Both centers have had a lot of difficulty, and that is nearly another turnover. That one looks like Howell did get back on it.
That's the one thing they can't do, turn the ball over. A bad snap, they might have got it right now.
That is a 3-yard loss. You can see the Omaha players pointing the other way. Indeed, Howell was able to recover the fumble.
The defensive players know once the ball is on the ground, you keep fighting until the referee blows the whistle. Even though it looks like the other team has it, try to steal it on the ground.
The clock now becomes as big a story as the scoreboard. Pittsburgh desperately trying to get this ball back with under 2 minutes remaining. And we've got a 3rd and 11.
This is where Omaha misses Alex Drake, their starting quarterback. Even though she's not having a great game, she can throw it down the field.
Another low snap, this time handoff to Sarah Robinson. Make that Lindsey Noble, no chance there. A great open field tackle by Tracy Wilmer.
Now this gets interesting. They keep the ball on the ground, 3rd and 11. There's no threat of a pass. Great tackling by the defense of Pittsburgh. Now it's 4th down. Lindsey Howe is going to have to try to throw the football.
And the other bit of bad news there is Lindsey Noble ran out of bounds, so that stopped the clock. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, can conserve its final timeout.
2 bad plays there. Now, Fezikai, you can see her eyes light up. This is where she comes into action with a quarterback that can't throw, but is forced into a passing situation.
That's exactly right, a 4th and 10. I don't know too many run plays that are designed to pick up 10 yards.
Give me one more. Down in distance, it's 4th and 10. If I'm a coach, they don't want to have the ball at 14 yards. They're going to pass off the ball. Where we go? Cover 3, lock it. Corners and safety swap fucking fast as you can. Yeah, it's 4th and 10. They're not going to try it. Well, watch the routes out there. Watch the ball. Okay? This play. It's the biggest play of defense right now.
It's literally the biggest play of the season for you guys on defense.
All right, 12, get your block. We got 10 yards. Okay? 10 yards. Get outside, find the hole, and go. Hold your blocks, ladies. Let's go.
Surprisingly, Dante Allen is not going to throw the football. He's going to put this game in the hands of Lindsey Howell with her running it. I don't know what this play selection is, but I don't agree with this at all.
It appears they're going to try some kind of a jet sweep to the outside, and I don't think she has the speed to get there. They'll need 10 yards either way. This is the play of the game right here. 1:20 remaining, ball at the 13-yard line. That is what's going to happen. Howell trying to get to the outside. No chance. That'll be well short of the first down. And Pittsburgh takes over on downs.
That might have been the worst call in the LFL this season. They needed over 10 yards. They run a quarterback sweep outside and then run out of bounds to stop the clock for Pittsburgh. They get the ball back with 1 minute and 14 seconds left in the game. Terrible call by Dante Allen.
And a great job there by Pittsburgh's Ginger Kutchbach coming up to force Howell out of bounds.
Great reaction by the Pittsburgh defense. They were expecting the pass. It was a run. They all reacted and got Howell out of bounds.
A 1st and 10 for this Pittsburgh offense. Ball at the 19 of Omaha. Now Morgan Spencer back to pass into the end zone. And that is a Pittsburgh touchdown, complete to Efezikai.
Megatron, Efezikai again gets on top of the coverage over top of Jackie Good. Morgan Spencer delivers another strike on the money for a touchdown, Pittsburgh. What a grab by Efezikai.
How about that outside shoulder pass by Morgan Spencer? She had to show a lot of touch on that pass.
Well, she saw again the pre-snap read. It was one-on-one coverage at 6'1" Efezikai. All she has to do is lay it out there, let her jump up.
And now we've got a tied ball game, 20-20. With a 1-point conversion here, Pittsburgh will go on top. This could be the play of the game. A bunch set by the Rebellion, rolling right wide open, Efezikai. And that'll be an extra point. And now we've got some back and forth. That is Amanda Hogan landing a punch. That looked like Sonia Osselborn came up, and Hogan just laid her out. But look at the extra point.
Great play call. Efezikai wide open. Osselborn, I don't know what she's doing. She's not even in the game. She comes out of nowhere. Bam! Down goes Osselborn.
I don't think I've ever seen a knockout punch like that. That's Amanda Hogan being talked to by league personnel and now being escorted off the field. Let's take another look at this punch.
Bam! We don't need a ref. We might need a priest.
Amanda Hogan being escorted off the field. One of the quieter players in the game. Sonia Osselborn must have just said the right words.
The result of the 1-point conversion is a good score. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 7 of the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, bench personnel of the offense. Those penalties will offset. 1st and 10 Omaha.
I don't know what Osselborn was thinking. Your team gets the lead 21-20. You come off the bench and get in Amanda Hogan's face. And then she comes back. Mild-mannered Amanda Hogan with a right cross that would have made Mayweather proud. Incredible action.
This is the final drive for Omaha. 1:08 remaining. That is Lindsey Howell looking impressive in the open field. And she needs to get out of bounds and does just that. That was a good little chunk of yardage there as we approach 58 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter.
There's Alex Drake out of the ball game, but Lindsey Howell is a good athlete. There's a lot of time left, 58 seconds, and they're already inside the 20-yard line.
That was an 18-yard scramble by Howell. Plenty of time remaining, 58 seconds, and Omaha does have a timeout. And I believe they're going to elect to use it here. Or no, just a little bit of confusion. Howell returning back to the field. So it'll be a 1st and 10 at about the 17-yard line. This is Howell, quick little dump off. Jackie Good, that was intended for number 3, had no shot at that.
Good call by Dante Allen, a short pass, keep it short for Lindsey Howell. She couldn't get it down low enough for Good, but it would have been a gain of about 5 yards and out of bounds.
That incomplete pass setting up a 2nd and 10. Ball remains at the 17-yard line of Pittsburgh. Now all receivers tripped right. Howell looking into the end zone. Nearly intercepted by Efezikai. I don't know that would be testing number 15 right now.
They tried to get on top of Efezikai. Actually a decent throw. That was close to being pass interference because they pulled the wide receiver out of the play.
A 3rd and 10. Not a lot of confidence in Howell's arm, but they're going to have to find some magic here as they trail this one 21-20. And And this Pittsburgh crowd starting to get on this Omaha offense. Ball remains at the 17. Another poor snap. Howell trying to make something of it. Does get out of bounds. And I believe that was about a loss of a yard. Setting up a 4th down.
Center Lindsey Burse with a terrible snap at this time of the game with 43 seconds left. The good thing is that Howell got out of bounds and stopped the clock.
This is the play of the game. A 4th and 10 for this Omaha offense. If they do not convert, Pittsburgh will get its first ever franchise win. And for Omaha, this could be the playoffs on the line. A 4th and 10, Omaha would be well served to call their final timeout. That is exactly what they do here.
4 down, you gotta put the ball in the end zone. Bunch right, okay? Y, 9 at the sideline. X, 8. You bring yours all the way across to the sideline. Just want to drag across and take it to the end zone. So we gotta get the end zone. So, if 9's open, you hit her right in the end zone. Your Y should be there. If she's not, you scramble to your left as fast as you can and throw that bitch to Raina right here. Okay?
On Twitter, go to twitter.com/MyLFL.
Good call by Dante Allen. It's a bunch set. They're going to try to get the 9 route to go route first. If not, Hal's going to scramble across, and you have a drag mount coming across the back of the end zone. Good play call. Let's see if it works.
A 4th and 10 for the backup quarterback, Lindsey Howell. Receivers all flanked to her right side. Howell back to pass.
Throw it! Shit!
Howell will not get there as the Pittsburgh defense gets a monumental stop.
Why didn't she throw the football? There's no way she's going to run it in.
Throw it! It's 4th down! God damn it!
In the 4 years that I've known Dante Allen, I have never seen him melt down like this. He is very frustrated, clearly, with Lindsey Howell.
Try and strip the ball. Strip the ball. If the ball carrier's by you, your first look at the ball. We'll make the tackle. You go for the ball.
Jackie Good is right on. There's 35 seconds left. You still have a shot. But you're right about Dante Allen. He cannot believe Lindsey Howell didn't give anybody a chance to catch a touchdown.
A 1st and 10, that's all they have to do. The victory formation for Pittsburgh. And reality starting to set in for Omaha. They are going to lose to the expansion Pittsburgh Rebellion.
That play could have cost them the playoffs. She had specific instructions. Throw the ball in the end zone. Give the receiver a chance. There's no way she was going to run 18 yards for a touchdown.
And you could see the other side of the fence. Pittsburgh realizing they've just picked up their first ever win. That has got to be a special feeling.
They've got a shot. We talked about it before the game. They had a win to have any shot, even though it's slim to make the playoffs. But they look like a solid football team tonight.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's even considering playoffs. Certainly not Omaha now. But this has got to just be a great win for the franchise. They've shown signs, Pittsburgh has, but it really all came together tonight.
On both sides of the football, the offense and defense worked together. Morgan Spencer had a great game. Afezika had a great game. The defense looked good. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh in 2018, it could happen.
Congratulations to head coach Joe DeBerry and this Pittsburgh Rebellion. And that young lady having a game MVP type performance.
For Omaha, they have one shot, do or die, against Chicago at home July 21st. It's a tough task. Got to beat the champ, but they have to do it.